I'm the kind of person where if I get really excited about a project, I like have tunnel vision on that project and it's the only thing that I see. And I forget to focus on all the other stuff out here. So, what I want to do today is create the opposite of that for you guys when it comes to growing the practice. And we can definitely get stuck in focusing just on the inside of the practice and making sure that our practice members get what they want. We can also get stuck in focusing just on online stuff or focusing just on um, maybe ads or maybe the Chamber of Commerce or maybe BNI or and really what I want to invite you to is get creative with a broad scope marketing plan. And the four-part marketing map is what we're going to do a deep dive on today. And if you are, oh wait, hold on, let me let my friends in Zoom. Hold on a second, sorry. If you're new in practice, as we go through this process, hi Maya, as we go through this process, if you're new in practice and hi Billy, and your practice is small, you want to focus more on outside things, and that will make sense in a few minutes. If I'm at the point in practice where I'm really happy with where my practice is, I don't necessarily want it to grow aggressively. I just want to make sure that the people who I'm serving are getting loved on in the way that I want them to be loved on. So more of my stuff is going to be inside stuff. And the way that this is broken up is there are habits that we do on a regular basis, and there are celebrations that we participate in on a regular basis. There are inside of each and there are outside of each. So the concept is inside habits are the inside things that we do in the office on a regular basis that habitually move the practice forward. Inside celebrations are the celebrations that we offer inside of the practice. So it may be like a practice member appreciation month, or it may be a review drive, or it may be whatever, right? There are all kinds of things, and we'll go over that today too. If you are at 80+% in where your practice, like how busy your practice is, if you're not really hungry to grow right now, you're more hungry to streamline, make sure your practice members are happy, you want to focus more on inside stuff. If you're like, you know what, I got to move the needle, I got to get people in my practice, I need people to know what I do. If you want to scream from the rooftops and say, hey, everybody in town, I'm Dr. Jody, I'm the person who does this thing for my community, then you want to focus more on the outside things. But what I beg of you is don't forget while you're focusing on outside that there are inside things that need to be nurtured. So I talk a lot about Who Not How, the book Who Not How, and the concepts in Who Not How of not asking yourself, how am I going to get this done? Asking yourself, who's going to get this done for me? Who is already the person or the system or the AI bot or whatever it is to where I don't need to recreate the wheel, it's already been invented. What wheel can I implement in my world to make sure that all four of those components are moving forward at the pace for my practice that I want them to be moving forward with? My pace is going to be very different from Chris's, which is going to be very different from John's. Everybody is at a different pace. Some people come to us and they say, I don't want to see more than one new person a week. More than that's going to overwhelm me. And some people say, I want to see a new person every hour. So everybody comes to this opportunity with a different want. And the want is based on time, energy, money. The time, energy, money of you, of your practice, of your goals, of your family, and so on and so forth. Okay. So what I want to do today is I want to go over the tools that I use. And if you're with me in Zoom, I'm going to give you free everything. You're about to get it. If you are already a client, you don't need to click on these links. You already have all of this in our Rise program. If you're not yet a client and you're watching this, you're watching the recording, you're watching the live, reach out to me if you're interested or intrigued. We can do everything from teach you how to do it and say, here you go, good luck, tell us if you need help, to doing it all for you and telling you, don't touch a thing. Let us take over for you, okay? Um, I think the most important place to start this journey is to figure out what the problem you solve is. And as a straight chiropractor, I took an oath to adjust anyone and everyone, right? Independent of all of the different things. I don't remember what it is at this point, but I say yes, as long as you're looking to release subluxation, I'm your person, right? However, I also know that the clearer and more intentional I am with my marketing, the more I'm going to land on the laps or on the phones or on the screens of the person who I really go and do the studying for, who I really go and do the prep for, whose colors were chosen on my wall, whose music was chosen in my room, in my adjusting room. So I want you to start with identifying what's the problem that you solve. Who is your perfect practice member? Perfect practice member, the term can be exchanged for avatar. If you looked at your calendar today and you had a full day in the office, who ideally is on the schedule? What's their age? What's their interest? Where are they at in their life? What have they studied? What do they want to study? What's their problem? And what do they think that you do to solve that problem for them? And I say, what do they think that you do? Because that is a really important component. My moms come to me because they think that I flip breech babies, or they think that I fix cranial irregularities, or they think that I make babies poop. They have all kinds of ideas of why they're getting on my schedule. My intention is to make sure that they're not subluxated, to make sure that their nerve system is functioning at 100%. They come to me with an agenda, but my agenda does not yield depending on what they say they're coming to me. It's always, my agenda is always the same. So those are two things to get really clear on as you start to plan this marketing. What is your agenda? What is your goal or your intention with your practice? What's your why? What's your mission? What are your values? That's thing one. And thing two, who is that a match for? Is it a match for before, during, and after baby families? Is it a match for professional golf players? For our buddy James here, it's a match for skiers, for people who go and hang out on ski resorts and have injuries from time to time. Billy may have an entrepreneurial 30 something who's not ready for baby yet. They're more focused on their career. Who is your person and what is the agenda that they come to you with? What is the problem that they think that you're solving? Because I promise you there is one. If you can figure that out and spend the time studying that, and you guys, I know that there's a part of the brain that goes to, well, I want to take care of everybody. I get it. But we can't plan our marketing for everybody. We can the clearer and more specific we get with our marketing, the more we attract that person because we all have the same 24 hours. So if your 24 hours are 6 of those hours are service hours, who can you fit in? If you can only fit in 30, 40, 50 people during those service hours, of the thousands of people that see your name, who are those people who make it to your schedule? And what is the problem? What's their agenda? What's the problem that they're coming to you with looking to get solved? My mom's my perfect practice member is a 30 something mom with the time, energy, and resources to give more and do more for her family. That is called my perfect practice member statement. I memorized it so that everything in me knows who that person is. So she thinks that my her agenda is to be more connected. Her agenda is to have the resources to be on the cutting edge, to be as tapped in as possible in the crunchy mom movement, right? She is who I set all of this up for when I'm looking at marketing for my practice. And I've got two businesses going. So that's my practice. And then I also have staffless practice. In staffless practice, my person isn't necessarily a man or a woman, very different. My person now is a practice owner or a manager who wants to be more efficient and more joy based in time, energy, money for their practice. They want to find the point where excellence and effectiveness meet, right? So the work that they're doing, the clarity of the work, the precision of the work, as well as how effective and efficient it is, where that meets, that's where I want to be hanging out for you guys. So you can tell that I've studied this. I want you to take the time before you start making a plan to narrow down and narrow down and narrow down who you're building all of this for. Okay. So that's thing one. Then thing two is we pull out, let me show you here. So something that looks like this, right? Something that looks like a whole lot of markers and a whole lot of pens and maybe even a wand. So we're going to pull it all out and we're going to get into playing with the books. So there are two books. Maya, I sent you a box of books last week. I hope you got them. So um, one of the books is the playbook, and this is your resource guide for every marketing event I have ever done or studied. This is inspired by all of the coaches I've worked with. It's all of the events. It's all of the, um, wait, hold on. Am I saying it wrong? I'm saying it wrong. I've got a lot of books these days, you guys, and I get them mixed up. Okay. The plan is the marketing plan. The plan is I think it's somewhere upwards of 45 different marketing events for your practice. And we'll go through a few of them today. If you're in Zoom with me, I'm going to give you a copy of all of my books for free. Okay. If you're watching this somewhere in the ethers, right, reach out to me and I'll get you the link. So, and we'll get that to you before you leave Zoom. Thanks, Jen. Hi, Jen. I want to be in Arizona with you. So that's that. This book also comes with a Canva swipe file. So I'm giving you, let's say there's one event called What's in Your Bag Mama. And the concept of What's in Your Bag Mama is um, I'm actually about to do one of these for the moms in my practice. And the idea is you set up in a living room or your practice or a restaurant, wherever you is best fitted. And if you're not a mom person, you're more of a professional athlete or even a professional person, make it relevant to your perfect practice member. And you bring a bag of really great content that that person always has on their person. So like my moms would have a diaper bag. My golfers would have a golf bag. My CrossFit athletes would have a CrossFit gym bag, right? So you have a bag of crap stuff that they might get at like, everything on sale and clearance, and it's the cheap thing, and they throw it in the bag, and God only knows what's in it. And then you also have a bag of the version of that thing that's high quality, really well made, and you're thinking like, what are the things that those people are consuming that they think are healthy or they think are supporting their health? In a diaper bag, I'll have diapers, wipes, creams, snacks, drinks, drink for mom, drink for sibling, drink for baby. Hopefully, I'm not going to go there. Um, Maybe even coupon cards to my favorite stores, have the crap version of that, and then I'll have the organic high quality version of that in the second diaper bag. And I'll just go through a show and tell. So what I'm doing at this event is I'm sharing what I know. I'm sharing information that's valuable to my perfect practice member. And by the way, I'm a chiropractor. So I'm dropping seeds of chiropractic throughout this presentation. So Jim might decide to do a ski bag talk. What's in your ski bag? And there may be, this is what they put on their feet before they put their socks on, but it's got like all kinds of crap and poison in it. And then here's the organic version of that. And it's Jim just doing a show and tell of this is what I know as a professional. And by the way, I'm a chiropractor. So that's What's in Your Bag Mama. So this book will have the checklist. I think all of them have like a 12-week countdown checklist of what you need to do to prep for the event, as well as the flyers, the shopping, the supplies list. It's all in the book. So that would be, if I did a What's in Your Bag Mama, That would be an example of an outside event or an outside celebration. Remember, we talked about inside and outside habits and celebrations. If I'm just doing that for my practice members, it would be an inside celebration. And if I want to have a healthy, balanced marketing plan, I want to make sure A, that I enjoy doing these things. I hate doing spinal screenings. Do not ask me to stand outside of a big box store for upwards of 4 hours and touch hundreds of sweaty people who I beg them to touch them for free. And maybe one out of every 50 people says, I keep hearing your name, sign me up. I would so much rather do a what's in your bag mama because it's fun. It brings me joy. Some people might love doing spinal screenings. Do what you love to do, because as long as you're doing what you love to do, that's going to be your bird call, right? That's what people are going to see and hear and experience. And what do people want more than anything right now? They want to feel connected. So if you're connected to what you're doing, they will know it immediately, especially if you work with babies and animals. If you are disconnected, stop what you're doing and pivot. Okay. Okay, so those are the things that I wanted to share about what we're going to do a deep dive on today. I'm also live in StreamYard, so I'm going to go ahead and end that. If you guys want to meet us in Zoom for this talk, you can come to stafflesszoom.com. Um, or you can join us in the Staffless Practice group. You'll see my link there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my StreamYard. Otherwise, I'm going to be way too confused on this live. Okay. And now I'm going to close this out. Okay. So I want to show you guys a few things. I'm going to do a little show and tell now. Where do I want to start? Stats. So nobody loves to talk about stats, but let's just talk about them for a minute, okay? And I'm saying this stuff as a reminder that if you hate this part, have somebody else do it for you. And your somebody else can certainly be AI. These days, Claude can do just about any of this. Anything that I'm saying right now, Claude can do, except for the presentation itself. So, and if you need to know about that, that's another class. Okay. So I want you to think stats are just the measurements, they're the metrics. And if you, and I'm talking about practice stats, if you bring that measurement to a meeting with me or my team, and we can look at what the current trends in your practice are, we can set goals. Okay. So let me give you a for example. This week in CrossFit, actually today we're doing the 1 mile challenge where you run as fast as you can a mile. And by the way, whenever I speak on stages, I say, like, you want to be in the best shape of your life as a chiropractor because it's a very physical job. If you can't run a mile in under 13 minutes, you have to start training your body better, right? So if I know that, and I'm a very slow runner, if I know that my fastest mile I've ever hit doing this challenge is 10 minutes and 34 seconds, you guys, that might sound really slow to you, but that's me panting because I'm a very slow runner. I know that 10:34 is in my head when I'm doing that run, and I'm watching my watch, and maybe I'm at 10 minutes, and I know I have half a lap to go. What am I going to do for the end of that lap? I'm going to sprint my ass off, right? So that's what practice stats do for us. They set a trajectory of where we want to go, of where we've been, and they give us real information. So the first thing I want to share with you, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If you are a client of ours, we just announced that Dr. Marcy is going to be doing Rise meetings with each of you guys, which is, it's like a marketing plan intensive, and she's going to start you with these stats. You're going to go through your stats, you're going to add your numbers, plug them in, you're going to fill out a report, which I'll show you in a minute. And together we're going to plan your marketing for the quarter. Okay. So the idea of this is how many it's very straightforward. Here, let's talk January. How many new patients did you have? How many patient visits did you have? How many days did you work? How many hours did you work? How much money did you bill? and this will automatically calculate the dollars per hour. The cool thing about this sheet is that you'll get a visual here as you punch numbers in. Okay, so let's say I had 5 new patients. Let's say, you see what it just did? Let's say that the number of patient visits was in a month. Let's say it was, I don't know, 300, 303, let's say. Number of days worked, let's say 16. Number of hours, let's say 100. And total monthly billed, let's see, if I saw 300 people at like $60 a visit on average, what is that, like 18,000? And there's my stats for the month. And then if I do the next month, let's just bring all of these down. Oop, cancel. I don't want to mess this up, you guys, but what will happen is you'll start to see curves here. And there's a page here for a solo doc for monthly. There's also a page here for weekly, if you want to see a weekly version. There's also a page here if you have multiple doctors in your practice for monthly, and for weekly if you have multiple doctors in your practice. So what I'm saying to you is, if you're one of our clients, bring this to Dr. Marcy's Rise meeting. And one of the things that you're going to do is set goals for next month based on how your current monthly projections are, so that you can sprint that last lap. Does that make sense? Okay, so this is the stats sheet. I'm going to go ahead and X this. You know what? Let me give you a copy of it, right? You guys want that? Here it is, and I'm going to put this in Zoom because I love you and I can. There you go. Okay, so I also am going to give you a copy of my books because I promised you I would. These are all the PDFs of my books. There they are in Zoom. And there are 4 books total, you guys. Staffless is like the Cliff Note version of Staffless Practice Academy. Here are my 2 marketing books and all of the swipe files for them. My 4th book is actually not on here. It's called The Curious Practitioner. It's like 952 questions to ask before, during, and after opening a practice. So if you need a copy of that, just hit me up. Okay, so in the playbook, which I just gave you a copy of, you've got your internal celebrations, I see, inside celebrations, outside celebrations, inside habits, and outside habits. And again, if you are trying to grow your practice aggressively, you want to be hanging out in these 2 squares. If you already have a really healthy practice and you just want to keep your people happy, you want to be hanging out mostly. I would probably do something like 30% celebrations, 30% habits, and then divvy up the other 40% in outside stuff. Do not ignore any of these boxes, though, please. And that's like me saying, it's like me saying, I'm just going to focus on the run, and I'm not going to do any interval trainings. I'm not going to do any weightlifting because I'm just focusing on my run. I'm not going to be well balanced, right? I want to be focused. I want a Monday, Wednesday, Friday run, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday interval training, and then I've got a well balanced machine, my physical body. This for your practice is a living system, and you want to be well balanced in each of these. We're at the point now where we can say to our clients, this is very cool, you guys. We're going to run ads for you on AI or Facebook or Instagram or Google, wherever your perfect practice member is hanging out. We're going to pull all of those people into a lead magnet, which is like a gift that you give them. We're going to nurture them once they get in through your AI bot, which is called Honey. And then we're going to book them to a discovery call to get to know more about your practice, which our team is going to do that call for you. That is our new honeydew system. If you can imagine, if you've been in practice for a while, I'm 26 years in here, if you could have a team of people who do this all day long, this is your who, not how, to take your perfect person, fill your schedule with them, and all you need to do is show up. It's magic. It's butter. It's everything, right? I will say, if that is set up for you, you need to know what to do when they're sitting in front of you. You can't blow it. If we bring you all of your perfect people, you need to nail it. Okay? So This would be more obsolete. This would be, if that was true for you, we would be doing most of this for you, meaning the staffless practice team. Okay. So, and this is from the playbook that I just gave you. It has all of the things. So just please flip through the pages. And as I said, I'm also giving you the practice celebrations. So these are the celebrations that we have in the book. Company talks, like showing up. If you love corporate America, maybe you're married to somebody who's like a high up in corporate America. Maybe you spent 30 years before you went to graduate school in corporate America, and that those are your people. Go be where they are. Go bring a table and do a lunch and learn. Spend $1,000, bring them lunch, do all of the things, because if those are your people, go to where they are, because that's where they're spending their time. So I was just saying that these days, corporate America is like half of the people are working from home. So just make sure if you do something like that, you're coming in on the right day. Okay. I guess I'm just going to go old school and look at my book now. There's also events like think about who your person is, what they're coming with, what they're coming to you with, what their agenda is, what your agenda is. What's an event that you can put on for them or create for them that will make them want to show up? I'm actually in the process of doing this right now. One of my practice members asked me to do a What's in Your Bag Mama, and I don't necessarily want to do that because it's been a long time since I've had little kids. But what I would love to do, the work that I do, how do we look at the body holistically? How do we know that the adjustment is affecting the body from head to toe? So that's something that totally lights me up. I can bring a spine, and the moms, they want to know more about that. Truthfully, the moms just want an excuse to connect with each other and go hang out and eat great food and let their kids love all over each other and maybe hang out with a cool chiropractor for a couple of hours. So there was a lot more that I wanted to show you guys, but I can't show you because my computer just crashed. I think what I want to do right now is I want to open it up to questions. So I'm going to open the view here on my phone. My son just said that we had a brownout in the middle of a talk. Okay, hi. Who has questions? Who wants to know more about anything that I just said? Is what I'm saying to you resonating with you? Is it allowing you to think about this stuff differently? Okay, I do want to show you guys I had some props ready. So the first thing I want to show you, I'm actually, now that I'm on my phone, I can walk you around my office. So this is my home office. And this is one of the most important parts of having a healthy marketing plan. You guys see this? This is my board. So if you can get a whiteboard, Chris, I could totally see you doing this. If you can get a whiteboard with a bunch of really happy markers, right? And just start putting words and ideas up on the board about what you want to create for your practice. Whatever stream of thought you need, whatever tools you need for your stream of thought. Another thing that I do, you guys, I'm like next level with this stuff. It's a little embarrassing, is I have this box here, right? It's my index cards. And every time somebody comes in my world who expresses interest in learning more about what I do, they get a card and they get, oh, somebody needs to mute out, guys. Ah, hello, please mute.
Para escuchar este mensaje en español, por favor, marque el 8.
Hello. Let me just make sure.
Please say yes.
Yes. Who is this?
Please say yes or no.
John, do you need to mute out my friend? Okay, I think we're good. Okay, cool. So if you say you're at the supermarket and somebody's like, oh, Dr. Chris, I keep hearing your name. My name's Mary. I'm super interested in chiropractic with you. I would go home, I would create a card for Mary. And then what I do is I have all of these cards on my desk and I keep them in a very organized fashion on the desk so that they're always front of mind. So that when I sit down at my desk and I'm in my marketing hours, I'm in what we call our diamond time, I have all of the cards in front of me. And then as they become a practice member or a client, I get rid of the card because we won them. If we lost them, and you keep touching them until they say no, because you have to think it takes an average of 7 times, 7 touches for the average consumer for them to actually pay attention to what you've got going on out there. So you want to touch them and touch them and touch them. And the more you can use automation to do that when it's necessary. Sometimes what happens is people will use automation and they'll drop the personal experience. Don't do that, you guys, because you got one shot to make a first impression. So don't make typos with AI with the long dashes and all of the things. I've absolutely made that mistake. So whether you use a whiteboard or you're using cards or you use this is another tool that I use a lot. So I have this notebook where there's a page per day. And let's say that I see Mary at the supermarket and she's like, "Oh, Dr. Jody, I keep hearing about you." I might put on Wednesday's marketing for next week to touch base with Mary. And I'll plan Mary's journey out in my book so that I don't have to think about when I sit down at my desk, what do I need to do today? The other thing that I'll tell you is the playbook is exactly that. The playbook is the planner. It's like the thing that you use to plan out what are you going to do every day, every week, every month of the year to really jam on building your practice. Okay. Does anybody want some ideas or want to pick my brain about what could be relevant to their perfect practice member? Or does anybody want to share an obstacle when it comes to growing the practice that they've been confronted with? I promise you guys, you're not alone. Everybody has challenges with this. And it's just a matter of learning your way of doing it. I'll also do a shameless plug. We're going to be having a 3-day intensive in Spartanburg, South Carolina in October at Sherman College called Sprint. And it's a 3-day in-person marketing jam session. So if you guys are interested, hit me up and I'll give you information about it. We're not taking registrations yet. What else, guys?
Hey Jody, can you hear me?
Hi, Claire from the UK.
Yeah, I just got off a ferry. I'm in Ireland now with my kids here.
Hi, guys.
I just, how do you help with basically marketing for me fills me with kind of dread. I avoid it. I don't want to think about it. It's a bit of a job I just don't enjoy as a chiropractor. How do I just get over that hurdle to bring a bit of joy back into it? So I'm like, yeah, let me at it. I think especially when it's for associates rather than me, I think that may be part of the problem.
Yeah, I love that question. So Claire's asking how to bring joy back to marketing when, I mean, for so many years, you guys, I did the sweaty spinal screening thing and I hated I can't tell you how many baseball practices I missed because I was doing spinal screens in front of Walmart. Like it was bad. But it also grew my practice. Like it did work. I hated every minute of it. So I also did them in supermarkets, like wherever I could get a yes, I was so hungry for it. Um, I think, Claire, if you can figure out your lane of genius when it comes to building the practice. So some people are one-on-one people where you love to go have lunch with the marketing or the managers of practices or the doctors themselves, or think about who is your perfect practice member already consuming with? Where are they frequenting? Who's in charge of those places? And what relationships can you go establish? If you hear this and you're like, I don't have any desire to do that at all, then you just want to have a marketing agency do it for you. The other option is you could have a butterfly in your community, like a 20-year-old who's got a ton of energy, who wants to show up and sing your praises at every freaking event. Pay them really well, help bonus them based on all of the jobs that they do, all of the people. In where I am, I'm not allowed to pay for referrals. I'm not allowed to pay for getting somebody to come into the office, but I can bonus people based on their performance and how committed they are to the job. So I've had marketing butterflies in the community where they'd go to the BNI meeting or the Chamber of Commerce meeting, or they'd take the other managers to lunch, and then they'd set up lunch and learns for me. They'd set up dinner with the doc for me, whatever it might be. And we have copies of all of those events in the thing that I just gave you guys. Hopefully you grabbed it before my power went out. Find the thing that you love and do that. Don't do things that you don't love, because I promise you they're going to pick up on it. So what do I love? I love going for walks with people and really learning about them and what they're doing. At this point, it jazzes me to maybe do a talk for an hour in front of a group of moms, but more than that, it makes me tired. So I would do all of those with a ton of joy. Ask me to go to a BNI meeting or a chamber meeting. No way. You couldn't pay me enough money. Mm-mm. But there are some people who would love to do that for your practice. So have them go as your ambassador, train them really well, train them on the weird things that people could ask them, train them on how to answer questions about time, energy, money with the practice. That's a who, not how thing. Like, figure out who your who is for that piece. I find that, like, if I'm going and walking around Costco or BJ's and there's somebody giving out like samples and they have a really great personality, I'll hire them. Go keep your eyes out for who your marketing butterfly is, based on who grabs you and who is relentless with joy, and who do you find in the community who you want representing your practice. Always be on the lookout. It could be the person working at the coffee shop. It could be the person who's teaching your kids in preschool. Teachers are the best practice advocates. They love chiropractors. They love holistic health for the most part, and they're always looking for extra work because they get paid crap, especially in the United States. So I've had many teachers work for me after school. Like, think outside the box big time. Think about your perfect practice member. There may be people in your practice who just light you up. That comes with a heavy warning. If it doesn't go well, you lose a practice member. So is it worth it? Do what you love and love what you do.
Thank you
Or
so
don't
much.
do it.
That's really
Okay. What else, you guys? There's also something to say, and Maya, this is for you. Um, like, if you think about like jumping river stones, and like you put your foot on one river stone and your other foot is on the next one, and then you take the leap to the river stone, and then you put your next foot on the one, and maybe it feels a little far away, but you know you can do it if you really straddle, and then you pull your leg to the next one. Marketing is kind of like that too, where you're going to take risks. You're going to put your foot on a stone that might feel shaky or scary, right? Doing this sprint experience at Sherman is super scary for me. I'm so what if nobody wants to come? What if nobody signs up? What if I get all of these great speakers and we're leasing computers for people? Like, we're doing all these things. What if it crashes? What if something happens and I have to pivot and I don't know how? That's me taking the leap. So part of marketing is taking the leap. If you do not have the bandwidth to do that, then you have to figure out how to find the resources to pay somebody to do it for you. Whether it's my team doing it for you, or a local teacher, as I said, or a person that works at Costco, you got to find the team to help you build if you don't want it to be you. I'll tell you that when I was new in practice, I ate, slept, and breathed chiropractic. Everywhere I went, I asked people, who's your family chiropractor? Like, I was hungry for it. And that's what it took. And it worked really well. But if you don't have that, you got to figure out who does and how you can afford it. What else? Hi, Billy. Billy, we're just getting younger, sister. You guys are like in my home. You're getting like the inside view of my office and all of the mess that's in here. But it really is pretty great. So have a setup that you're really comfortable in, and get creative. Have your markers ready, and go to town with these books. I gave you the books before we lost power. So does anybody else have any questions for me before we hop off? Okay. You guys can do anything you put your mind to, and I think often the question is, do we want to do it? And that's the first question. Is this something that I want? Do I want to be busy in practice? If the answer is yes, then the next question is, how do I do it? And when you're thinking how, you're also thinking who. Is the who a system? Is the who a person? Is the who an AI bot? And these days, often, I would say upwards of 70%, it can be AI. Maybe 20% is a person. No, I'm going to say 20% is a system and 10% is a person. Those are the stats in my world today. I'll also say, if you're one of our clients, you guys please book your marketing meeting, your RISE meeting with Dr. Marcy. If I want you to do that, I put a message in your Slack this week. She's going to spend 45 minutes with you going through the plan for the next quarter. It's legit. It's awesome. Okay, I'm loving you guys from here. Go make the world better with great care. And thank you for being flexible with me today. I'm sorry that I lost power. I'll talk to you guys soon.